Turn the cricket off.
What was that, Randall? All right, welcome back to Sports Dribble Podcast, powered by Sports Rewind Digital. I'm joined with BJ and Davo again this week, fellas.
Evening, mate.
G'day, mate. How you going, Davo?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Glad you didn't get lost, mate, on that deserted island. We're
No,
worried
no.
about you.
No, survived that. Family way off. I was voted off by the family. So, as always,
Looking fresh, mate. Looking real fresh.
A week sitting in the sun drinking rum will do that.
Absolutely. Now, fellas, tonight we're got a special guest there in the waiting room. He's sitting back. Let's hope we can get him back in a second. He's had more technical difficulties than Funky Phil did. But we'll get him back in a minute. But first, fellas, what's on for the weekend? Any sports? Anything happening?
Well, yeah, usual sport coming up this weekend, although the girls get the week off so that they get to come and laugh at me trying to play cricket this week. All the women's comp have a bye down here, so that's the afternoon off. But just hoping to catch more of the World Series, more of the World Cup, of league and cricket. So same old.
Beautiful. Randall?
Yeah, nothing, mate. I've got a free weekend, so it's going to be sitting on the lounge watching baseball and cricket all weekend. Same as last weekend. It's all I did.
In the pool, mate.
In the pool.
I'll tell you what, I stuck a toe in that pool today when I went and visited you at the Savo. I'll probably be around as well.
Balmy 27 degrees, mate. The heat has been pumping. It's beautiful.
Yeah, ours is getting up there. It was off while we're away, but we've had the heat pump on since we've been home. So I'm sure that's where we'll probably be, watching the cricket on the weekend as well.
Nice. Righto, fellas. We're the shout out of the week. It's gone. Flicked it after a dismal response the last couple of weeks. If you still want your club shout out though, feel free to come on. We'll have you on any time. We're gonna try something new. We haven't got a name for it yet, but it's gonna be a little quick fire. Couple of things for the week. Randall, do you want to kick us off? You got a
Sure,
couple,
mate. I do, mate. A couple of little things that I picked up on the socials. One of them, it was the I'm reading this while I'm saying it, so don't mind me. It was the math behind the Phillies winning in 5. So the Philadelphia Flyers played in the 1997 Stanley Cup final. 13 years later, they played in the 2010 Stanley Cup final. Philadelphia Eagles played in the 2004 Super Bowl. 13 years later, they were in the 2017 Super Bowl. The Phillies played in the 2009 World Series. 13 years later, they're in the 2022 World Series. So 13 plus 13 plus 13 is equal to 39. Justin Verlander is 39 years old. He's married to Kate Upton. Kate Upton has big boobs. Boobs has 5 letters in it. So the Phillies win in 5.
I like it. It.
Math, mate.
Can't argue with that logic.
What else have I got? Verlander, while we're on him, how about 8 World Series appearances and he is 0 for 6 with an ERA of 6.07. He's never going to get a win, is he?
Well, they reckon, I read a stat, Bumgarner could come out, give up 23 home runs in a row without recording an out and still have a lower World Series ERA than Verlander.
Perfect.
Which is crazy for someone like the career Verlander's had.
Oh, exactly. You can't show up on the big day. What about you, Davo? What do you got?
2 things. I don't know if you saw in the NASCAR, old mate doing his best video arcade games. He was running 10th. He was running 10th in the final lap, final corner, and he needed to get to 5th to make the actual NASCAR. So instead of just weaving up the inside, going through the cars, I'm going to smash into the outside wall and use the wall to propel me round the corner, round the other cars to come 5th. So it's like, it was just crazy. And then you see the in-car sort of vision, and it was just unbelievable. It was something that you do on your PlayStation or your Xbox or something. It was great. So if you go follow ESPN on any of the socials, it's on there. And
I might actually post that one down below because that was gold. Absolutely.
It took a while before the lead cars actually covered across too, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
I think, what did he finish, third or something?
No, it went from 10th to 5th, I think.
To 5th, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I saw one other good photo. It's like, what does Eli Manning, Nick Foles, and Gisele Bündchen have in common? They all took one ring from Tom Brady.
Well, while we're on Tom Brady, I think it's like it's called from the Sports Troll. Tom Brady is the first quarterback in NFL history to drop to 3-5 in his 23rd NFL season on Thursday Night Football, while the temperature outside was 82 degrees on the 27th of October, while the wind was blowing from the north, wearing red uniforms before getting divorced the next day. That's a good stat for you.
And I'm pretty sure he that was against the Ravens, I believe. The Ravens beat the Buccaneers, and I think he got sacked about 5 times.
Yes.
And he now holds the record for the most sacked quarterback.
Yes. Well, that's what happens when you play 23 years.
Correct, it is.
I've got a couple more. I've got a couple
flags
more for you, fella. What was that, sorry, Davo?
Most flags for roughing the passer as well.
Probably. Mate, how about that hole-in-one? Now, Randall, you did give me a hint. I was supposed to do this last week, the end of the show, and I missed it. Craziest hole-in-one story. A young golfer aced the 4th hole at Minneapolis golf course and then lost that ball shortly after. Later the same day, a different player found it and used it to ace on the 16th hole. Unbelievable. There was a photo of both of them with the ball. What about this one, fellas? In the MLB, the umpire, Pat Hoberg, called a perfect game, 129 from 129. Mate, phenomenal.
It's no Angel Hernandez, is it?
No.
I saw that stat. That was outstanding. And it's a guy, a name you don't know because he's such a good umpire that he's so good at it. He's not got a reputation like Angel. So, tip of the cap to him. It was a great effort.
Absolutely. Righto, fellas, I'm going to bring on our guest now. Some of you have probably played baseball against him. Some of you probably know him through various different forms of baseball in New South Wales. I'm bringing to the room, if he can join us, Matt Cavill. Cav's just joining up now. We had a few issues earlier with the Zoom. Here he comes. He's on mute.
Gee, bring back Funky Phil.
Funky, mate, you might have to come and give Cav a few lessons. If he turns up with that orange ink on here again, mate, look out. Mate, we might boot him and just he might come back on again.
Here he is.
There we go.
Cav,
Hey,
welcome, mate.
I can hear you talking. Sort of make us wait. How are you, fellas?
Good, mate. How you going?
We're going very well here. Very well. It's a bit wet down in Sydney. It's having a bit of a sprinkle at the moment. So the boys have just finished training. They just got home. So
Nice.
get them working. That's the main thing.
That's the go, mate. We're getting a little bit of that storm up here now, but nothing too bad at the moment. It's probably missed Davo. Straight over.
It's nice
Davo.
on the Central Coast, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, we've had enough of the rain.
Fair call, mate. All right. What's been happening with you, mate? We've seen you all over the place in all over the states and up north with Queensland with different things.
Yeah, mate, we've been a busy probably 18 months, oh, probably 2 years. So we started with an impromptu phone call with my now business partner, Kevin Fenn from Gold Coast Baseball. And we're chatting about nationals and the cost of nationals and things like that. And always said, we could do it a better way. And there's a lot of kids that are missing out in the sport that aren't getting the opportunity to go to a nationals, whether it's a junior one or something like that. And we knew we could do it. We knew we could do it better. So we're probably going to release it the second year of COVID, but it was probably a blessing in disguise that we had to wait another 12 months so we could put the finishing touches to it. And then what was supposed to be a nice little boutique little tournament, the registrations blew up, and here we are. We had 30 odd teams last year, and this year we're on target for over 50. So we've got secured another venue as well, which we'll be able to do pop-up fields, which is great because that's what we wanted to do in the first place. And it was a huge success last year. We had great feedback, a couple of things we needed to tweak with everything, but able to pick teams and get them off to Cal Ripken. They played I think they played 13 games over there, the Cal Ripken team. We had a bit of a pre-tournament as well for them set up because the players coming from all around Australia. But they had a great time in over there with that. But learned a few lessons about baseball as well. You know, we don't match it with the rest of the world as we usually know. And then picked up other teams and went to West Palm Beach and played in the perfect game tournaments over there, and high schools, varsities. We played 9-10 games over there. We only had 1 day of washout, but we arrived just before the hurricane, which was good. I can say I've been in one now, so that was good. And a few little tornadoes popped up here and there, but we didn't see any of them. But it was an eventful 2 days before everyone rolled up. The flight coming into West Palm Beach was interesting. We'll say that it was interesting, but a lot of great connections over there, and this whole travel ball thing's about to take off. Yeah, we had a big meeting with all the powers to be, all the smart people on Friday, and we put a big 12-month plan together. And it's about to take off. We said we'd be releasing two major things this month, and we will be doing that.
Look forward to hearing what you've got planned, mate. Now, the Down Under Classic, we were talking about this earlier on one of the other shows with Funky Phil. And the idea of kids going away to play, and they went to an opening ceremony at a theme park, and then they had a closing ceremony at a theme park. Mate, not just baseball, it's the whole week was about the kids and about them having a good time. And that's what it needs to be.
I've always said baseball is the secondary product. We go there for the baseball, but that's only an hour and a half, 2 hours. So what do you do with the other 22 hours?
Yep.
You sit around doing nothing. So let's make it interesting. Village Roadshow were fantastic to come on board. We have a fantastic events partner in CWT. Michelle and Heather, they're just phenomenal. They tell us what to do, what our allowances are, what our tolerances are, and we work to them, and we find different things to do. But the opening ceremony straight at SeaWorld was fantastic. They also looked after us with the accommodation as well. A lot of people stayed there, so it was good. It was right next door. So you got these, a lot of the things that the parents said, but there was kids coming home from the games, and a lot of these kids never played together before either, mind you. They might have been from their own states, but because they're from different areas, they were put into teams, and a lot of them didn't know each other. But by day 2, they're all best mates, and they're jumping on the tram, and they're in the Gold Coast and going up to fun parks and back to SeaWorld and just hanging out. And parents were saying there are things they wouldn't let their kids do in Sydney or in any other state. But because there's a whole group of them, their Snapchat numbers all go up and their Facebook numbers all go up. They've got friends all around the world now. And it was just great seeing the kids grow from it. And especially kids who have never experienced the Nationals before. Obviously Nationals aren't like this. This is on steroids, but all I can say is wait for next year.
It's something the kids are going to remember forever, isn't it? It's like, as you say, baseball's a small part of it. That's the sort of reason you're going. But the whole experience, the friendships made, the time they've had, they're going to come home, tell their mates, who are going to tell mates, and it's just going to grow, and it's something that they will cherish forever.
In saying that, Dave, I think it's more the parents.
Yeah.
The parents met other parents, and they got it because there was no, like I know with our Nationals, we lock the kids away. They stay as teams. I shouldn't say lock them away, but they stay with teams. This way they're flexible. They can go out for dinners and mingle with other people. And it's just like, I'm in Sydney, so there's guys from Hills becoming good friends with people in Cronulla, and they'll be friendships for life. I saw it when we went away to the US. Like, what are you guys? You don't even live near each other, but you become good friends, and it's just awesome. The parents loved it. It was more the parents. I thought it'd be about the kids. The kids sort themselves out. They're fine. The parents were having great time. So, and that's what it's about. We wanted that family atmosphere. Everyone's got to look after the mum, got to look after the daughter and the other son if they're not old enough to play. And they all got passes to go to the theme parks, unlimited. But the two of the big things were the seminars that we had. We had 2 seminars. One had over 800 people. The other one had over 900 people in attendance. First one we had was Laurie Lawrence speaking with Brad Thomas and Chris Oxspring. When we first met Laurie, he's a character, but I'm going to be honest, I put my hand through my hair and go, oh, what have I done here? This could be, it was like he wasn't happy to be there. I'm going to be honest. But as soon as the bell went or the whistle started, mate, what a showman. He was absolutely brilliant. He had the room captivated. It was just, everyone's eyes were fixed. No one was looking at their phone. Put it that way. I kept looking at that. No one touched their phones. You can get a good guide of a room where the people are playing on their phones on silent. Everyone's on their phones. And then the other night we had a Pathways night where we had Peter Giles from the Academy of Baseball in Victoria, who's in the schooling system, and he came there and explained to all the parents the pathway and how to do it. Plus we also had Alex Howe, Max Brennan, Josh Dean, Michael Campbell. I'm trying to think, was there one more? It was a few months ago now, but they were up there talking about their experiences through college and the pro scene. So the information was fantastic. It was there for the parents so they can learn the right way.
Yeah,
they hear all different rumors. They see all different things on Facebook. Well, here's a one-stop shop. Listen to it. You can contact Peter whenever you wanted. So it was more of an information week as well. So they went well, and they all looked fantastic, mate, in their black chrome gear. All through the Gold Coast, mate. We ran the Gold Coast. There was jumpers, there was shirts, there was hat everywhere. It looked fantastic. Everywhere you drive, I'd just go for a drive to see what I could see. Just little things like that. So it was fantastic. But we got a bit of rain on the Monday and the Tuesday morning where the clubs up the Gold Coast, especially surfers, they were phenomenal. Their groundsmen up there and their presidents and all their staff behind the scenes, the canteens, everything were absolutely phenomenal. I can see why they hold Pan Packs and all that there.
Yeah.
There's no better place to hold it. And the Gold Coast, if you ever wash out on day one or whatever day it is, it's not as though there's not a lot to do there. There's heaps. Yeah. So yeah, everyone had a great time. So we're looking forward to 2023.
So how does Randall, for instance, got a young bloke who's 12. Looking to, he's playing reps for Newcastle. Say he's looking to get in on this tournament. How does somebody get involved?
So I released the other day for the New South Wales teams. We've got full inclusion now. So we're not having a trial process anymore. We can do different divisions with different, abilities of each player so they can all have fun. We have no right, like we talk about growing the sport all the time. We talk about, we need to do more promotion and things like that. But the first thing these kids have to go to when they do that is a trial. Whether it's for a club team or a rep team, they've got to go to a trial. Well, how do you promote if you've got to go to a trial? How do you get people into the front door?
Yeah.
So we decided with New South Wales, let's scrap it and see how it goes. Because we have no right to say the kid with, maybe not the greatest ability is the best kid in the tournament, doesn't love the game just as much. So he deserves the right to be there.
Yeah.
And he if he wants to go to America, who says he can't? We have no right to tell them they can't. They need to be able to experience it. Well, the three of us love it. Yep. We've had opportunities. This is an opportunity. They have every right to be able to go and do it. If they want to do it, beauty. It puts a smile on their face. That's all that matters. Well, we think it's the greatest sport in the world, but we make them trial. That doesn't make sense.
That's it.
Doesn't make sense. So.
And that will make it grow. As you say, for the average kid, it's a once-in-a-lifetime thing, even if they're not the greatest baseballer, to experience something like that with the calibre of players that are there. As you say, the people that were like even Ox and Thomas there, listening to them, it makes a lot of difference and gives them that little bit of confidence. Think, hang on a minute, I can go all right. What's to stop me going further?
Yeah, it was one of those things. We spoke to the coaches prior to it. We had a big coaches meeting like before every tournament. But if you rant and rave, this is not for you. Yeah, and I'm not saying it's a mentor role, but it's a role where you can guide correctly. You can. The only rule we have is 50% mandatory play. So you have to have 50% mandatory play for the whole tournament. There's no one at bat, 3 defensive outs. There's none of that. It's 50% mandatory play. Everyone gets a run. You know, you try and put them in the position you can. You do your best as coaches, but as a coach, their role was just to guide it, pretty much write a lineup and enjoy it. There was one instance, there's a young fella from Central Coast, Dave, you probably know him, Big Sexy. And we had one field there that was a smaller field, and we'll call it the Homer Dome. So I think there was one game that was 14 home runs hit or something. Big Sexy's come up and hit this absolute, just 500-footer, I reckon. Maybe not that big. But he's round the bases and home plate. They got the arc for him. And he's a kid that probably wouldn't do that any other time. You know, it'd be once in a blue moon. And I'm glad I got to see that.
Yep.
And these are kids, once again, this was a Central Coast kid playing with Ryde and Manly kids. That would never happen.
Nah.
And I noticed something at club ball one day, and I saw him, as he plays in my young fellas team as well. And I just saw him talking to some players from another team, and I'm sitting there, I said to Rebecca, my wife, I said, how does he know them? This is like 2 months after the event. Like, I'm not very bright. So I said, how would he know them? And she just looks at me. It's from the Down Under Winter Classic, you moron. Oh, yeah, of course. I forgot about that. I forgot all about that. But, you know, when players talk after the game, I said, well, how does he know that kid? That kid lives at Wollongong.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot all about the Down Under and the impact it has on the kids. So, yeah, mate, the friendships made were definitely lifelong because they're still going. I hear talent on that PlayStation thing and all the different kids that he's playing with, and it's fantastic, man. And they're looking forward to it. That's the best thing. They're looking forward to it. They know they can go to it. There's no pressure in, I hope I make it, or I hope I trial well, or, you know, is daddy's kid going to get picked and I'm not going to get picked. There's none of that. We've got no politics.
Yeah.
Let's play. Let the kids play. Let them enjoy it.
Best way to be.
Let them enjoy it. There's something there for everybody.
So what ages do you cater for, Cav?
Hey, last year we did 12U, 14U, and 16U. But because of demand, we're now doing 10U, 12U, 14U, 16U, and 18U.
Nice.
So, and next year for each, if we end up having divisions, there'll be US trips for each age group. We've got plenty of places over there. We were lucky enough to meet Andy Burris, who played with the Reds, and he owns 5-Star International Travel Ball over there. And that's one of the largest. Like, they have their own buses for this stuff, mate. It's phenomenal. You know, them and Canes are two of the biggest. And it was kind of worked out well. I know the 14s, we got to watch their big 18s team become the American champions, the national champions at Palm Beach. And the baseball is, it's phenomenal. The way they play is, you drool over it. You can only dream of that here. You know, it matches the ABL level, 100%. You know, people will think I'm crazy saying that, but it matches the ABL level. And the good part of it was Damien Moss, former Australian pitcher. He pretty much runs the show with Andy, and he spoke to the boys well and got photos with them. And he took the time, like, he's about to play in a big championship game, and he was still talking to the boys off the field, you know, because I said to him, mate, thanks for that, you know, for taking the time here while the team's playing. Oh, they're well drilled enough. They know what they've got to do. You know, so stuff like that. So we've been able to link up with Andy. Looks like they might be coming out to the Down Under Winter Classic next year to talk at one of the seminars. So we're hoping that comes off. But they've given us great advice along with a few of the other ones. So there's some things building in the background at the moment about travel ball, because we're playing teams there that were playing their 110th game. There was kids there with they're getting their 120th hit. You know, so our guys match at skill level, which is what we could tell. But after about the second inning, the stamina just doesn't. We just don't have it. Yeah. It's not that we fall off the planet. We're just beaten by stamina. You know, you say baseball's attack and defense. Well, they attack with their defense.
Yeah.
We just can't match that. So we've got to find a way to get some more games into these kids. I think in the 14s, the highest velocity was 86. I think we topped out at 72, and the average was 78. So we're still behind there as well. But that's
Still by me.
Mate, I actually identify as an under 14-year-old kid that I reckon I could probably hit 62, 62, 63.
Yep. You might cut it with these blokes, but they're pretty cool, these kids. They've
got
all the gear. They know what they're doing.
They got more hair than you too, Huddo.
They got way more hair.
One thing I noticed with social media, so when the 18s were playing, they know all the top prospects and that through all this perfect game stuff and everything. I wouldn't have a clue. And they've got a list of players they wanted to meet at the event who they knew were at the event. So they know the top prospects through perfect game, where they play, what positions, who they play for, and they're off getting photos with these kids, mate. It was phenomenal. I'm like, going, who's that kid? And they're going, they'd rattle his name off, and he's the number 3 prospect. And he's the number 2 prospect for this mob and this. How do you know that? Oh, it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Everything's on bloody YouTube. So the kids, they are very well knowledgeable of what's going on.
Absolutely.
What's going on. But, mate, we had Perth kids over there. We had WA. We had South Australia. We had every state. We had New Zealand kids, mate. We had the Kiwis playing with the Aussies, mate. It was good. They were fantastic. We had one kid there that Alex Howe was coaching him. And he comes up to Howie. I won't mention the young fella's name. He goes, do I really have to hit and run here? And Howie looks at him and goes, yeah, you're going to be thinking that he's talking about, game time. Is he going to get game time? And he goes, yeah, you'll get game time. Don't worry. Everyone's got to do at least 50%, but we're going to have more than that. Not really interested in running and fielding. I'm a PO, mate. I'm a pitcher only. And Alex looks at him and goes, what are you saying? You don't want to run? No, I'm not really interested in putting my cleats on if I don't have to. I don't really feel like pinch running or fielding, playing a position. Just you tell me when I'm starting and I'll be ready, Skip. And the kid can pitch, mate. The kid can pitch.
Yeah.
He was a great kid. But we had no incidences when we were away. We lost one day weather, which was a practice game day 1. Yeah. And that was due to the hurricane. But after that, the weather was perler, and the facilities were mind-blowing. There was one facility there, we played a local high school team, and this was their local community field. I've been to the Little League World Series, and I know those fields are like. It matches that, and we're part of the SCG. That scenario there with the volunteers there, and it smokes that field. This was a local domestic field. It was unbelievable. So, yeah, it was a great trip. Plenty of off-field stuff as well. And the boys just got on. They just got on. They all connected well. But our resilience is enormous. The kids' resilience, they bounce back very quickly.
Yeah.
It didn't matter that they lost, and they didn't seem to. They cared. While they're packing up. Once they were packed up, that was it. But the highlight for me, guys, was the homemade lemonade. The homemade lemonade was outstanding. One of my favourites. Probably why I'm that size. But yes, they loved us over there. We got treated very well, very well.
Randall, have you got any homemade lemonade tonight? He's usually got a bit of dirty water happening up there.
Actually, I'm running the dirty water. It's all good.
Dirty water up there.
Oh, I said to a few of the parents, as soon as we get back to Cronulla, I'm starting a lemonade stand. Don't you worry.
It's got to have the special ingredient vodka.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're all good.
So, travel ball, mate. You're talking lots about travel ball. I know we've talked about something coming up here in Newcastle as well. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, we've got the Summer Sizzler starting on the 22nd of January. So we've got the 10s and 12s are playing out at Chifley in Sydney.
Yep.
The 16s are playing down at Nowra at Shoalhaven.
Yep.
And we've got the 14s where I'll be at Maryborough up there. So I'm looking forward to coming to Newey, mate. I haven't been up there. It's at least 15 years for me, at least.
Yeah. Hasn't changed.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Still.
It has changed a lot.
I haven't been up there for baseball for at least that long. So was talking to one of the guys up there, and let's make it happen up there. So their clubs come to the party, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be really good for not just baseball in Newcastle, but obviously the rest of New South Wales. But mate, really good to see something happening in Newcastle as well. Obviously, we've been pretty big with New South Wales country for a lot of years, so great to see it coming to Newey.
Yep, no, we're looking forward to it. So it was a easy process to happen too. So they were very good about it, and we're generally excited about coming up there. So, like, if you want to play baseball, you want to get on the road, mate. You want to get away, spend a couple of nights in some accommodation up there, spend some money. Mate, we've got the best country in the world, so let's use it. So for these type of smaller events we have here, we're going to try and get out of Sydney, but I know the Woggers out there, and there's a few places we could reach out to, which we're happy to do. Coffs Harbour.
Yeah.
But there's a heap of them. So we'll be doing that. Yeah, take it out there. Let other kids see what they can experience. As I said, every kid deserves an opportunity. So
yeah, I know. Up here in Newcastle, we need that promotion for kids. The kids' numbers aren't awesome, so
because they'll be able to come to this. There'll be all the fanfare there, and once again, the teams will be made up on the spot. So kids have got to reinvent themselves, make new friends. A lot of the parents realised. I know when we first started down under, they're going, "Oh, I want little Johnny to play with little Joey," and I said, you're going to see them off the field anyway. We're trying to do something different here. After day 1 and day 2, all the parents bought in. They understand what we're doing, and achieve what we wanted. So new friendships, and things like that moving forward. So it's a better game if we're all having fun.
For sure.
Yeah, and you learn more if you're having fun too. So we try and create that environment. But one of the things that down under next year, we're having a all abilities tournament as well. So, and not just a 10-minute game. It'll be a 3-game series. So people will be eligible. We're going to post that soon. People will be eligible to come away with that as part of the NDIS program. Awesome. So we got to do that at Little League. The boys over there got to play with all the abilities team. Like some of them were grown men too, but the boys, the reports I got back from the All Abilities organisation over there, our boys were absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't care how the whole tournament goes. If their personal character is fantastic representing us, then I don't care if you lose by 100. If we're creating big league people, then that's all that matters.
100%.
So star team beats a team of stars.
Exactly. So the fact that they, in the scorching heat of Texas, they were able to still put in and just help out some guys that, once again, who love the game. So they were fantastic. So very happy with that. And, everything's got kind of finished now, and we start all over again, and looking forward to next year. But one of the things we did want to announce is we purchased we have over 200 kids playing college in the US, and they can either go play when college finishes. They can either go play summer ball somewhere around the US, or they come back home and play. And Kevin and I were talking. We got to with Scott Hillier as well, having a bit of a chat about it. Would it be good to have one place where all these kids could go if they wanted to, play in an all-Australian team and compete together in a summer ball competition? So what the hell? We'll just go ahead and purchase one. So
why not?
Let's give it a go. So our name will be changed from the Aussie Waves to the Australian Drop Bears.
Nice.
Got to keep that comical thing going. Black chrome's all over it. We're designing new stuff, and it looks fantastic. We'll be running the reversible jersey this year. So they've invented a reversible jersey.
Wow.
So you've got a home and away strip in the one jersey, and you cannot tell that it is a double jersey. It slightly weighs heavier. Like, when I say slightly, I mean very slightly. And you can flip it straight around. Now, you could be losing a game by 10 runs in the 5th. Boys, we need to change it up. Just change the jersey. Just flip it inside out. Mate, change your luck, maybe.
That's unreal.
Like you can have a home and away strip in the one jersey. You'll never forget your uniform.
That's unreal.
You never forget it. It's unbelievable. I can't believe no one thought of it before.
That's good.
So we'll be having all them at down. Every team will be having a reversible jersey at Down Under.
Make sure you let us know when that merch is available, mate.
Yep, it will be. So we're planning on Richard Thompson, managing the team, ex LA Angels pitcher. Man, have heaps of conversations with Tomo, so these kids will be eligible, and we'll take obviously the best 24 for year one. And if we get a lot of numbers, they've opened the door for us. If we want to start a second team, we could, even a third team. So it'd be good to have the players come together and see each other again and around the US. And it's a 30-odd game season, so they're staying in the dorms. We've got the fields all AstroTurf. It's a beautiful facility. It's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So a lovely place of the US to play. So we thought, what the hell? Let's do it. Let's give it a shot. I think it should have been done years ago. So go for it. And then we've got a big announcement coming in. Hopefully the end of this month. So it's an announcement that has been in the works for a few months, and we finally got the approval the other day. And it's going to blow people out of the water. So once we find out that, nice bananas there, are they? Nice bananas, mate.
I was going to say, people have to watch the video and not just listen to the podcast to actually get that. But that's
all right. That
is awesome.
Good mate of ours, Matt Perry. His daughter Savannah, she loves bananas as well.
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
It's a lovely part of the world. Apparently, you can drink alcohol in the streets there and all sorts of things. So I may never leave.
Oh, why would you?
I might have to visit there one day.
When are we going?
Exactly.
Mate,
there's a lot going on, but looking forward to the summer sizzle next and try on player numbers for DWC 23. They're above this point than they were last year by about 80 or 90. We still haven't had there's 2 or 3 teams from New Zealand coming. South Africa reached out to us today. The US might be a bit difficult because that time of year, but there's been a couple there inquiring. Don't think they might get over the line. But we've got the T-Bones coming from Victoria. The Canberra Cavalry started the Cavs Juniors. So they've got there. There's just another 300-400 kids yet. So it's going to be an awesome tournament.
Unreal, mate.
But the entertainment off the field is what makes it.
Yeah.
We got some big stuff this year.
Where can people go to have a look at that, mate?
If you go to the Down Under website, the Down Under Facebook page.
Yep.
Down Under Winter Classic Facebook page. The link's on there to register. The website, that's being built as we speak, so that should be finished in about a week. And just keep an eye out for it. So Ozball we've got our own Facebook page as well, so that'll be on that. But we're promoting hard and pushing it to the clubs. We've also got the softball rights to the Cal Ripken World Series in Treasure Island, Florida as well. So we're doing a Down Under Easter Classic for softball next year as well. So that's been a bit of a hard nut to crack. But we're about a third of the way there, which is good. So we've got the teams coming in. It's just a matter of just pushing it out there and letting people find out about it more than anything.
Yeah. Where's that one going to be based?
Gold Coast as well, mate.
Yeah.
There's no better place in Australia to play.
Can't beat it. Yeah.
It's got everything. So we'll always be at the Gold Coast. That'll be our base. And, looking forward to that. So 2023 is going to be a very busy year.
Awesome, mate.
Yes.
Look forward to seeing it all, that's for sure. Appreciate you coming to have a chat about it, mate. We're going to talk a little bit more about MLB now with the playoffs. You guys catch a bit of the first 2 games?
Mate, I actually didn't because we're all weekend of baseball again. So I actually, if I need to catch up, usually Jaden works for us. So I usually ask Jaden, he gives me a fill-in. He gets usually in his phone watching it or something like that. So he usually gives me a fill-in. But, mate, if the Red Sox aren't in it, is it really worth watching? You know?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Couldn't agree more.
Come on, guys. Is it really worth watching, you know?
They're about as good as the Yankees, those blokes.
But
Wow.
the boys, we're even in West Palm Beach. The boys went down to Florida and watched games down there, the stadium. Oh, sorry, I got one more announcement. We're in that big home run derby they have in the US in Marlin Stadium. So down under this year, we'll be having home run derbies.
Yep.
And the boys will be the winners of that will be eligible to go and represent over there in Miami in November. That's the ones that Bryce Harper and all those guys were in.
Yep.
So
unreal.
There's heaps going on, mate. There's heaps going on.
Great opportunity for kids, that's for sure.
Exactly. So, like I said, every kid deserves an opportunity.
For sure.
Yeah.
Just make kids develop at different rates. We all know that. We've all seen that.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to it. It should be great. So, Kevin and I are, we're under the pump, but we love it. We love it.
Some of us are almost 40 and still developing, mate.
One day you might have.
If there's any umpires or volunteers out there that want to help out of being part of Down Under, we'd love to hear from you. The umpires last year were fantastic, and Peter Giles from Victoria helped us out a lot. A lot of the college kids that came back came up to umpire for us. They were fantastic.
Yeah,
they did the junior games and they understood it. And they were fantastic. So I want to thank those young blokes, and more of them that come up, the better. And they're the same with umpires. Umpires, if they're not getting opportunities going higher up the ranks, give us a call. You're not going to get better if you're not umpiring. So here's an opportunity with no stress. You're getting mentored by some great blokes that lead it for us. So let's keep the ball rolling. Same with the coaches. Keep the ball rolling. Come and have some fun. So I want to thank guys for letting me come on tonight. It's been great.
No worries, mate. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk a little bit about the MLB.
No worries, mate.
Game 1, fellas, the Astros come out pretty hot. Thoughts on the game? I mean, Verlander started off strong. He held him, I think, 9 up, 9 down. Was looking pretty good. What happened from there? After Verlander sat that down, Tucker hit a bomb and then a second bomb.
Yeah, Tucker, he went back-to-back bombs through his first 2 at-bats. He's the first Astro to have a multi-home run game in a World Series.
Yeah, right.
Which I find that's pretty amazing with some of the teams they've had.
Yeah.
So that's
it. The killer bees they've had over the years. So surprised one of those didn't do it.
Yeah, big time.
Phillies come back pretty hot, pretty quickly. Those 4 hits to score 3 runs. I think it was the 3rd or the 5th. Can't remember now. It was a while back. But
5th.
yeah, they were all on 2 outs, and some mentions there. Schwarber, 3 from 3 in steals, just like incredible.
Tacos for everyone.
Yeah,
Hey.
The Phillies just look too hot. They just look from 1 to 9. They just look too big and too strong.
Oh, I hope they do get up, mate.
It's exactly what we spoke about a few weeks ago, isn't it? Where we said if the Phillies bats stay hot like they have been all postseason, they'll be hard to beat, and they showed that.
Yeah.
Verlander held him for the first few innings. They jumped out to a quick lead of 5-0, and then he gave it up.
Yeah.
And then what happened? Real Muto come out in the 10th.
The 10th,
Yeah. It's a hard lineup to contain too.
It is. It's that belief they have, because it doesn't matter how many games you win. Like at the end of the regular season, if you make the playoffs, everyone's starting from scratch. So what's this, the biggest win differential between 2 teams in the World Series? And that doesn't mean a thing. Teams that are hot, they'll keep going.
That's it. What about Castellanos catch in the bottom of the 9th to save it? Could have been, he doesn't make that catch.
Game over,
yeah. And then Real Muto comes out in the 10th, hits that bomb. And then the Astro had their chances in the bottom. I think it was Alvarez who got struck out. And then Bregman doubled, didn't he? I think it was Bregman. Bregman doubled.
Could have been. Yep.
Yeah, he's had a good series so far. Good playoffs, actually.
And they had runners on first and third, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he got the third on wild pitch.
Wild pitch. Runners on second and third, it was.
Yeah.
And that's when Aledmys Diaz come up and lean into one.
Yeah.
Lean into one and got called back to the plate. The umpire was quick on that.
Mate, in the old days, we would have got another one in the ribs for that. Fair base there.
The
Two
policing
out.
it pretty hard now.
That's it. Yeah,
That's it.
you know,
First
it was
base
all-
open. It's like, yeah, why waste 4?
Yeah.
Get the force back. One will do it.
It was dead set almost a strike.
It was.
If he hadn't leaned out over the plate, it would have almost been a strike.
Yeah.
But then Johnny rollover, little ground out to third base, and
Great to see. Great
all
comeback.
over. Yeah, it was a good game.
What about game 2? Valdez was just on fire.
Oh,
Just-
so was Houston's bats.
yeah, they were.
What were they? It was 1-0 with a runner on second after 2 pitches or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
First 2 pitches of the game were doubles.
3 runs in 4 pitches, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 doubles.
3 doubles.
It's one of those series where the home team it's a true advantage this year with the home team and playing at their home ground. Obviously, they both play really well at home. They both play really. It's a hard place to beat them.
Well, mind you, the Phillies have been on fire on the road and earlier rounds of the playoffs too. So, and the
Yeah,
Astros. The Astros hadn't
yeah.
lost.
Houston at home it's a tough. You know you've done well if
Yeah.
you've beaten Houston at home.
Especially Verlander on the mound.
Well, Valdez, mate, he was unreal to watch. Just loved watching the slider, the curveball, everything was working. Change piece. And then watching Wheeler, his velo was down. He's coming back from injury, isn't he? Do you have Tommy John? Is that what
Not
last year?
Nah,
No. I thought he's come back from injury. But they were saying his velo was way down on what he was usually. He just wasn't good. But yeah, Astros bats were hot. And then Bregman hit a homer in the 5th. I think that was it for runs, wasn't it? 5-2 ended up.
yeah, Philly scored a couple late, but nothing much really, was there?
Nah. Someone
Well,
left.
they
I
got-
read,
One
I
in the
read a
7th,
stat.
one in the 9th.
yeah, the starting pitcher hasn't given up a home run at home for the last 10 starts, or he's just doesn't give up home runs at home, which is a rare thing to do playing in that ballpark.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Crazy stuff.
Mm.
What have I done? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, mate, we got you. It's all good.
Oh, lost me there. My screen's playing up. I can't see you, so if I
No,
drop
we
out, just let me know.
We can see you, mate. It's all that matters. You still look pretty.
You can still see his shirt, and I still don't have any pants on. So
Neither do I. It doesn't matter.
if I drop out, just scream at me. Yeah, so they ended up 5-2. Someone left the sprinklers on last night. They got a washout today. We go
really
back for game 3 tomorrow. Should be good. Who's the matchups? I don't even know who's pitching against who. Anyone know?
McCullers is still going for Houston. I'm not sure whether Phillies are going to change it up or keeps in Noah pitching or not. But I know, Astros haven't changed.
Nice. Anything from the playoffs, Randall? Anything you want to add?
No, mate. I just think it's good, mate. I thought they were 2 pretty good games, so I'm really keen to see some more. I still think the Astros are going to get it, but I don't know. Does this extra day off? Who does it suit? Does it suit the Astros? Does it suit the Phillies?
Maybe Verlander comes back a day early and they hit him again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If it goes that long.
Yeah,
If it goes that long, that's it. I can see that it's probably, if anything, it helps the Phillies with having not as many starters in that rotation. I think in game 1 they brought Ranger Suarez into relief, didn't they?
Yeah.
In game 1, and he's been starting for him. So Zach Eflon, he come in out of the bullpen again as well. So if they can get an extra day off there, does that help for those guys to be able to maybe get a start rather than come out of the bullpen? I don't know. Their rotation's not real deep, so
Time will tell.
It's playoffs. You use Charlie Holstaff.
that's it. That's exactly right.
And everyone wants to be in it too.
Yeah.
Yep.
everyone wants to contribute.
Wrap up, fellas. Bit of a wrap up. Cav, we just go around and some of the sports that we've been watching. Randall, what are you going to cover? You're going to cover the
I can look at the NFL if you want, mate.
NFL.
I did watch a little bit this week.
Righto, what's been happening there?
Started early for me, mate, with the Ravens and the Buccaneers playing early. Yep. Ravens got up over the Buccaneers, thankfully. Eat that, Brady. But anyway, what else do we have that was again impressive? We had the Cowboys beat the Bears, which you could probably expect. 49-29. Cowboys going to 6-2.
Yep.
Dolphins beat the Lions 31-27. Lions 1-6. They're in all sorts. You had the Vikings keeping their streak going over the Cardinals 34-26. Vikings are 6-1 again. They're looking good. The Jets beat the Patriots, were beaten by the Patriots, to hurt them a little bit. But the Eagles pumping the Steelers. I think you watched that, didn't you, Huddo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Steelers were atrocious.
They were.
But Eagles getting up 35-13 to go to 7-0. So
pretty impressive.
They're going real good. They're going real good. The Bills over the Packers 27-17.
Good
I think
game.
we were having a chat about this game, I think, while we were watching it.
Yeah.
The wheels fell off at the end a bit for the Packers.
I watched three interceptions in the last quarter.
Yeah, they were. The wheels just fell off for them, poor buggers. But anyway, the Bills improved to 6-1.
Nice.
They're playing well.
What about you, Davo? A bit of cricket action?
Bit of cricket. We've got the Poms and the Kiwis on at the moment. So
come on the
Kiwis. Do us a favour, because if the Poms win, they've got a better net run rate than what we do. So that could come down to make it interesting for us. So I'll always take the Kiwis over the Poms any day of the week. But Australia got up over Ireland yesterday.
Yep.
I thought we struggled for a little while, but got there in the end. India, South Africa the other night was a great game. South Africa got the points there. So Sri Lanka just beat Afghanistan today. It says a lot about how Sri Lanka is going, but it's going to be tight in Pool A. Pool B, you'll probably have India and South Africa at the top of that, but Pool A, where you've got Australia or New Zealand up front, England and Australia close behind, it's setting up to be a good series. The WBBL's been going. The Sixers are starting to come through there. The Heat won the other night, so it's cricket all about. It's great. Bring it on.
Mate, it has been good. I watched the Australia game last night. I tell you what, Tucker batted well for Ireland there.
He did, didn't he?
Good to watch. Just crushed it. That was pretty cool. Hey, I've got one for you, fellas. The Ironman Award. Now, we think about how many games has Cal Ripken play in a row, Randall?
Oh, now you're going to hurt me.
Go on, mate. He's your man. Like 9,400,000 and something games.
I'm pretty
2162 was the record, wasn't it? 2162 was
2162 was the record that he broke, and he annihilated it.
27.
I'm pretty sure you find that if you play for something like 21 years or something without missing a game, then you might catch it.
Well, we're looking at that in the NHL right now. Old Phil Kessel, the number 8 for the Vegas Golden Knights. He played his 990th games in a row. So you think about how many seasons that. I don't know how many they play in a season, but they definitely don't play 162. And he scored his 400th goal in that game. It was awesome to watch. And I'm not following much of the NHL, and for some reason that was on, and I watched that game and watched him score his 400th. It was pretty impressive.
That's a fair effort for the NHL. Like, you know how rough and tough that is, and sort of how easy injuries can happen, and to play that many. Yeah, I saw that record, 990. I thought, wow, okay, but didn't know he was getting close to it. But unbelievable.
They interviewed him after the game, and they were talking about injuries and things like that. And he just said, "Oh, if I'm sore, I just play. You just play. That's my job. I get paid to play. I play."
It's a great attitude. That's a great attitude, isn't
it? Yeah. That's his job.
Who you want in your team. You want that bloke in your team.
Yeah. Well, I think Randall's been playing with a busted ass for the last 20 years. Oh, no, he's playing like a busted ass. My bad.
Yeah, that's it.
My bad.
Play with no arm, no knees, no heart.
I've been following the bit of the World Cup for the rugby league.
Yep.
And I mean, in the Lebanese team, there's a young fella there called Khaled Raja. He played with my middle son back when they were under 10s, under 11s, under 12s. And like back then, that team that they had for Bankstown Sport, it was a red hot little rugby league team. You know, they went 3-4 years undefeated. They'd go and play in every tournament they could. They'd win them all. And I look back now, like this kid's on the verge of, he's a 5'8". He's on the verge of, he's in the Bulldogs system. So he could be the next big, after Burton. Leave Burton there and move him to halfback. That'll be fine.
We'll take him in the Knights for nothing.
I don't think he's done it let him, mate. I don't think he's done it let him from what I remember. But out of that team they had back nearly 10 years ago, I think 8 of them have gone on to sports where they've gone like to a higher level. So there's 4 or 5 about to break into the NRL. One of them at 14 decided he wanted to go play soccer, and I think he plays for Greater Western Sydney. 2 of them have gone to golf, and Blake went to baseball. But they're at elite levels of their sport. So it's just a great little group. But I've been watching him closely. He was mate at the age of 10. This kid was directing traffic on the field, telling you where to go, and he was fantastic there. So yeah, look out for this kid. His name's Khaled Raja. I think they play Australia this week, don't they?
Not sure.
I think they play Australia, the Lebanese team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that because he's going to be a little star. He's going to be a star. Hopefully, help the Bulldogs come out of the dungeon.
We're on the way up, mate. We're on the way up.
We are, mate. We are.
Gus Gould's got a 10-year plan for him. So in 15 years' time, something might happen.
Mate, I'll take that.
Well, you just mentioned the Sydney Warriors. I just want to go over the table here. So the Western Sydney Warriors are second, Sydney FC are third, Newcastle Jets are fourth. Mate, I'm just trying to scroll down looking for the Central Coast Mariners, Davo. They've only had 1 win. Oh, they're in 7th.
Typical of the Mariners, mate.
Absolutely. I'm actually surprised Newcastle's up there, but anyway, they might be like the Knights, win a couple of games early and then don't win another one for the rest of the year.
Choke the rest of the year.
Watch a bit of the NBL during I think it must have been over the weekend. I hadn't seen a NBL game for a few years, fellas. But it's great to see it booming again. New Zealand are at the top of the table at the moment over Sydney, Southeast Melbourne, Cairns, and the Tasmania Jack Jumpers in 5th and Melbourne in 6th at the moment. Again, Davo, there's no Newcastle or Central Coast there, mate, so doesn't matter.
Where are the Falcons?
Mate,
that was the Newcastle team, wasn't it? Newcastle Falcons?
Newcastle Falcons, and then they went
Pirates.
Yeah, it was good fun.
Good times, Hudson.
ABL starting next week.
It is.
10 days.
Yep.
Looking forward to that. There's a few contenders there for this year, so
I'm on the cavalry.
They're buying up big.
Yep.
They're buying up big, and Perth knocked off Australia the other night in 1 game. So
yeah, saw that.
But New Zealand's buying everybody, so they're looking good. But mate, yeah, I think it'd be hard to pick if you had to pick a winner now, I'd need 2 or 3 choices, I think.
Yeah, it would be good to watch. Obviously,
I think Brisbane's flying under the radar a little bit this year. Usually they're very outspoken.
Yeah.
But it seems to be Tuatara, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth all doing the talking. And then the other 3 just sitting under the radar. You guys can run your mouths. It's fine.
They can't. You can't ever. Brisbane are always up there.
Yeah.
You can't discount them at all. So.
Yep. So, and I know Sydney's got a few Pirate imports, so it's going to help boost them as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Finally announced some signings.
Yes. Yep. So it all begins next week. I'll be down in Canberra. Canberra's doing a travel ball night down there since they're starting. So we've got a couple of display games going on there for the fans, and all the boys get free entry. So they'll be racing from Sydney's club game on Saturday Arvo, racing down to Canberra and have a bit of a weekend down there. So it's good of them to do it.
Lovely. What about Sydney Major League, Cav? How's that been going, mate? Who are you with?
Well, mate, I missed the first 2 weeks because we're away.
Yeah.
And then I think we had a washout the next week.
Yeah.
But I went to the game on the weekend. Cronulla played they played Blacktown.
Yeah.
That's good, mate. I got sitting on the sideline watching the games now this year. So do a bit of a Gus Gould role.
Beautiful.
Just sit on the sidelines and recruit earlier in the season a few weeks back. But it was the baseball was pretty good. I know Cronulla blew, I think in 3 games they blew leads in the last.
Yeah.
Oh, Buff must have been pitching.
The old hand, no. The old hands around the throat kicked in a bit, so we've got to try and remove them from the throat area and hold some leads. But it was good to see Dylan Clark throw. He threw in the World Cup for Australia. It was good to see him on the mound.
Yeah.
He's looking healthy. Then they rolled out a couple of veterans in Matty Ray and Todd Grattan. But we will miss Wilco. He was over in Perth with the Australian team. But your old mate up there, Cambo.
Never heard of him.
Mate,
Never heard of her.
Mate, he doesn't miss a thing, mate. That guy could catch anything.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. He's pretty to watch, isn't he?
He is, mate. He is. Some of the catches on the other night, I'm just thinking, mate, you should have been in the Major League movie. The catches you're taking.
Speaking of catches, Cav, I remember playing against you one year. It must have been at least 100 years ago. We're down at MacArthur, and it was Australia Day, and they had the fireworks going.
Yep.
And there's smoke all over the field, and someone's hit a line shot, and they don't know. No one could see the ball. They've had to call it off, call time. One of my favourite games that day. Just remembering, it was. We probably had a delay of about 20 minutes to get rid of all the smoke from the fireworks. Unreal.
I remember my first year there as president. I was chucked in the deep end like fair dinkum. They couldn't have won a chook raffle back then if they bought all the tickets. And I said, how do you got to engage these kids back to the major league level and stuff like that. And I thought, we'll do like a hat presentation. And this is probably where that's the reason why I'm probably where I am now. If you don't ask, you don't get, or you don't find out. And I asked someone, well, let's try and get fireworks in. Oh, that'll cost thousands. They won't let you do that here. And so I ring this bloke up and have a chat with him. 5 minutes later, he's charging us $1,500. And he said, it goes for about 2.5, 3 minutes. I'm thinking, it's not very long. Then I remember Rebecca saying, just sit still for 3 minutes and just time it, see how long it is. Mate, she was right. It was bang spot on. And the council all in for it. But that night with the hat presentation, we actually played Cronulla. And, mate, we had about 1,500 fans there. It was a great night. So they continue that. And then, obviously, the merger with the Orioles, that was Jason and I just clashing eyes one night at a meeting and falling in love. And then the rest is history there. So, they're still going strong and got a bit bored with all that. And then Cronulla asked to do the same thing. So I thought I'd go over there. And I just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Yep.
Try and build clubs up and go on. So this year, the big clubs will be good. Like Borco's stacked again. They've got everybody. They've got enough for 10 teams. So they'll be strong. They're always strong. They're a competitive area. So, but like Cronulla, we've got a very young club. So a bit of maturity would help. But that'll come with time. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
But Smithy runs the show there now, and Mark Feathers. So they're in good hands.
Nice,
it's good
mate.
to watch. It's good to watch.
All right, mate. Thanks for joining us.
That's all right. No worries, guys.
And look forward to seeing your upcoming announcements and being part of the Down Under Classic. And
yep,
as you said, if anyone wants to volunteer, obviously these things need as many volunteers as we can. So
you can drop me an email at matt@osball.com.au or kevin@osball.com.au. And
That's pretty similar to Randall's address.
Yeah, it's not Oz.
at
It's,
bigballs.com.au.
there's nothing big about him, champ.
it's funny.
Oh, mate, thanks for joining us. And
No worries, guys.
thank you, fellas.
I'll just throw this banana skin out.
No worries, mate.
No worries, boys.
All right, can't wait to have you back, Cav.
No worries, boys. See you later.
Thanks, Kev.
Take it
See you,
easy.
boys.